same time.
How can Polaris be seen if it's directly above the North Pole? How can Polaris ever be on the horizon?
And I already answered you. I want data, not your opinion.
No, you haven't. You have not given me.
You can see Polaris from south of the equator. How does that happen on a baller?
How far south of the equator?
According to your model, it should be 0.83 degrees south of the equator, right before it goes invisible. Your model's a bunch of ad hoc band-aids.
No, it's not. But I want to
What
know
is this 27 degree of shift you're talking about? And I want to see evidence
if Polaris is directly above the North Pole, how can it ever be on the horizon?
What is this 27 degrees of shift you're talking about?
Dude, I'm not dealing in if, dude. Take some images, take a picture, do a measurement. I'm not doing ifs.
Where is Polaris on your flat Earth model?
Up your stupid ass. Where's the 27
That's a great
degrees?
answer, Karen.
What's the 27 degrees?
That's a really intelligent
I
answer.
keep asking you a question and you don't answer it. I keep asking you a question and you don't answer it. What is the 27 degrees of shift you're talking about? India's been asking. He's been answering your questions this whole time, and you just keep name. Listen, Veruca Salt. What's the 27 degrees of shift that you're talking about? And I want to see evidence of it. I want to see evidence of this bullshit 27 degree shift you're talking about.
Where is Polaris on your flat Earth model, Karen?
Up your ass. Now show me your 27 degrees of shift.
Where is Polaris on your
No, I'm not going to answer your question because your questions have been answered. Your questions have been answered, and you're not answering anybody else's questions.
The question should be, where would equatorial line? Yeah. The question should be, where is the equatorial line on a flat Earth?
No, that's not the question I'm asking. The question I asked
it applies to the question you asked.
Because you should have a notion of where Polaris is on your flat Earth model. Is it directly above the North Pole or not?
There is no flat Earth model.
Exactly. So you can't explain jack shit.
That's not necessarily true.
You can't explain anything without a model.
You can't explain anything. Okay, listen to this. On your ball Earth model, where's the curvature? Where's the measurable curvature? 8 inches per mile squared.
We show it to you all the time.
No, you don't. You ain't shown shit. So where's the curvature?
Well, yeah, we have. It's just that you deny it.
No, you haven't shown anything because we've shown you that there's lack of curvature. We've shown you that there's lack of curvature and you deny that. So tell me,
no, we don't.
Curvature? Why can we see too far? You cannot explain this, and refraction doesn't cover it because we always beat your refraction math repeatedly.
Okay, have you finished? Can I talk now?
You've been talking way too much.
When you show us things that are supposedly flat, we give you an explanation for it. We give you an explanation. We don't reject it.
Line would lay. All right, from the pole to the equator on your globe is only 5,400 miles. So if the equatorial line was 5,400 miles from the center of the north, there's your 27 degrees at the equator. It's a matter of distance, not shape.
That's why I asked for actual data, because I'll make it work, dude. I'll just fiddle with the math until it works. It's simple, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If our equatorial line lays at a center point from the center, where, yes, we all know the North Star is on the flat Earth.
And then I'll make up some ad hoc explanation.
If we're anywhere around 6,000 miles out, it'll bring us within.
Models aren't science because you can't falsify the model, really, you know?
It'll bring us anywhere from 27 to 24 degrees at 5,400 miles to 5,800 miles. Angle of view.
To what? To Polaris?
Yeah, but it's also dependent on the height of the Polaris from the distance of the equatorial line on the flat Earth map.
So shouldn't you be able to triangulate Polaris and tell me how high it is?
Well, yeah, I could do that. But I'd have to sit down and make a 3D model. But it's not an unanswerable question. That's my point. It involves math.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is that no matter what height you select for Polaris above the North Pole, you can never make it go to the horizon on the flat Earth model.
That's an assertion.
It's a reality. It's geometry.
We'll see. I mean,
please show me how.
It's non-Euclidean geometry, right?
It would have to be, wouldn't it?
No, it's naive geometry, quite honestly. We are using optics, right? So we're not using little straight line Euclidean geometry on pen and paper. Yeah, I can draw a straight line from the surface of a plane, and Polaris will never be parallel to that plane. But that's not how we see things, right? So we have an angular resolution. Eventually,
now you're appealing to nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
You even know what
that's absolute nonsense, because whether we can see something or not depends on whether we've got a direct line of sight to it. If we don't have a direct line of sight to it, we can't see it. Okay? Now,
yeah, and some things we have a direct line of sight to, we can't see either.
So how can we get Polaris to appear to be on the horizon on a flat Earth? When it, no matter what distance it is above the North Pole, where can you stand so that you will see Polaris at ground level? Show me, where on Earth, where on the flat Earth would you be able to stand so that you will see Polaris on the horizon?
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, right? So the angular resolution of your eye is going to omit, right? Omit. It's going to be invisible. You're not going to be able to see it a very large distance. So at, like, say 3,000 miles, that would be 1 mile of altitude, which will appear that it doesn't even exist.
How far is the equator from the North Pole?
I don't know. I never measured it. That's why I wanted. That's why I want data, not just like speculation and conjecture.
Have you been to the North Pole yourself and measured the altitude and azimuth of Polaris from the actual North Pole yourself? Have you done that?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Bull fucking shit. Prove it.
Well, why do you ask if you're not going to? Why do you ask if you're not going to accept the answer?
Well, you can say yes, but prove it. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. Prove it. Prove it.
I've also been to the South Pole.
Prove that you have been to the North Pole and measured the altitude and azimuth of Polaris yourself.
Why are you diverting away from what I was saying?
I'm not diverting. I asked you a question. You said yes. Now prove it.
I asked
Show me anybody's measured it.
I asked you the distance of the equator from the North Pole. And you said 5,400.
Yeah, but you have to know where the North Pole is.
5,400 miles, right?
You have to know where the North Pole is to get a distance.
Fuck's sake. 5,400 miles from the equator to the North Pole was what Michael said.
Well, that's what your model predicts.
How far do you think Polaris is above the North Pole?
Have been to the North Pole and measured the altitude and azimuth of Polaris
on your own. How far do you think Polaris is above the North Pole?
You said you've done it. Now I want to see it.
How far
you made a spurious claim. I want to see proof.
We already covered that guy. You can keep pushing, but
if we don't know,
we're not going to guess it.
We can't know how far above it Polaris is, right? So we don't have a location, so we can't look up and see it. Okay, I don't know of any measurements of the location of Polaris from the North Pole. Period.
So do you think? Polaris is above or below the sun?
I live in Michigan. I've never seen Polaris at the horizon.
We can't get the distance to Polaris.
Well, that's
no parallax.
You don't have to use parallax. Just basic triangulation should be able to give you that distance, shouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what parallax is, dude. That's
not
establishing
what
your baseline. Listen, you're establishing the baseline, right? The baseline would be the parallax.
That's not
How
what
is that a
parallax
basic
is.
principle in science? Man, you guys make up the most ridiculous bullshit and put it out to people, and you think people are just going to accept it?
Triangulation is not the same as parallax.
Y'all are ridiculous.
Parallax is listen, you use parallax to triangulate something, right? So you have 2 points.
No,
right?
you don't need
Some
to use
baseline.
parallax. You don't need to use parallax to triangulate something. We can just take basic angular measurements of the elevation of Polaris from 2 different locations. And if the Earth was flat, you should be able to determine the height of Polaris above the North Pole.
Right. And those two
So why hasn't any flat earther ever done this? So why hasn't any flat earther ever done this?
Because we're too busy measuring the ground and not looking at the sky.
Basic observation, isn't it? Don't you think that would be a very basic thing to measure and do?
Why hasn't any flat earther done what now?
I'll give you a
measured the location of Polaris. Why haven't you taken the elevation of Polaris from any points on the flat Earth and calculated how high it is above?
Where did the Globies do that? Show me where a Globie did that.
How do you establish a straight line baseline for an equilateral triangle based on apparent position of a star as it refracts through 7 layers of atmosphere?
How much does a star refract through the atmosphere?
You got 7 layers of it. You going to tell me you're coming up with a constant?
How much does a star refract through the
atmosphere?
It depends on which model you pick.
Right.
In your model, there's like, I don't know, like 5 different models of refraction. So like if you took any model, like if you use just a straight model, at the horizon, it would be exponential. It would be infinite refraction.
Right. Known observations show that the position of a star doesn't vary by any more than about ½ a degree. And that only happens on the horizon. Okay, so when you're looking down towards the horizon, the position of the star can change by as much as ½ a degree. This doesn't
Your data's wrong.
This doesn't account for the change in
Where are you getting your data from? Can you show us your data?
Can I get a citation for that?
Oh, for fuck's sake, just go and look up any star element.
Yeah, and it's 7.83 degrees, which is more than ½ a degree.
I want to review your source because I think you're full of shit.
So how much do you think it refracts?
Well, the official number is at the horizon is 0.83 degrees.
Still nowhere near the amount required to bring Polaris down to the horizon, is it? See, what I'm hearing is a total reluctance to actually calculate and tell me what the position of Polaris is on the flat Earth. You don't seem to be able to do that.
Reluctance to accept your data because you won't cite it.
You can't even show us proof of your data. Where are you citing this from?
You can't even show me a model for how Polaris
is positioned. We don't need a model. We don't need a model for that. Why would we need a model for that? No, we don't.
Because you can't explain anything.
There is no measurable curvature and there is no motion detected. So why don't you show us your data? Show us your data.
And you didn't cover how you're going to get that baseline for that equilateral triangle on a curved surface, if it's a globe, as your model states.
Karen, do you realize how ridiculous you sound when you say I don't need a model?
Shut up, bitch.
No, I don't.
Even if the globe model was incorrect, you still need your own model to explain anything.
No, we don't. We don't need a model.
You do.
No, we don't need a model because all we have to do is poke holes in the globe model, which is extremely easy to do. We do it every day. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Can you hear me?
Man, y'all are a bunch of clowns. Y'all don't get it. Y'all just don't get it. You're so stupid.
Yeah, if you could prove your model for a fact, you wouldn't need a model.
Guys, why are we even entertaining them?
Having a model would strengthen your position.
Because you're a little bitch. That's why, man. Oh, fuck you. I don't like you. Shut the fuck up. You heard me. I didn't stutter. I don't like you anyway, motherfucker.
This is why you guys sit over here in your little fucking bullshit server all lonely, because y'all are a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. Y'all don't know shit. You can't prove
You don't even understand how science works, Karen.
You can't prove curvature. You can't prove motion. You can't even cite data for your citations. You guys just talk.
Karen, you don't even understand how science works.
Bullshit! You don't know what I understand. You don't understand how science works. You got nothing. You got no science. You got no scientific method for any of your stuff. You guys are
demonstrated.
ridiculous.
You don't understand how it even works. That's the problem here. That's where the disconnect.
How did I demonstrate it? How did I demonstrate it? You guys are a bunch of
by saying I don't need a model.
How does that demonstrate that I don't understand science? I don't need a model. I don't. Because all we have to do is poke holes in your model, and that is what happens on a daily basis, and y'all can't do it.
Actually, you can't prove your position by disproving a flat Earth or by disproving a round Earth, because the globe is not the negation of a flat Earth model. Therefore, disproving the globe Earth does not prove your position. It's basic logic.
All it does is disprove a globe Earth. It does nothing else.
The negation.
It disproves the globe Earth, which means it's full of shit.
Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't prove your position.
Yes, it does matter. It does matter because that's what's being taught in schools as truth. That is exactly what matters. It does matter.
Karen, you're asserting that the Earth is flat. You cannot prove the Earth is flat by disproving that it's a globe. So if your argument is that the Earth is flat, you don't get to where you want by poking holes in the other model.
But we've already proven that the Earth is flat because we've already proven that water is non-convex. We've done plenty of tests. This has been proven repeatedly, but you guys just deny it. You guys just deny it. No, you guys are just all in cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to be pleasant.
Stuff that we have proven, and you guys deny it.
I'm trying to be pleasant.
Appropriate usage of the word cognitive dissonance. He doesn't even know what cognitive dissonance means.
Hey, y'all pretender clowns have fun eating your blue pills. Have a good night.
Yeah, I tried to be as pleasant as possible. I didn't call her names.
Yes, you're very pleasant.
I wish I'd dropped in half an hour ago. Jesus Christ.
Oh no,
it's been like this for
half an hour ago. It was a complete shit show.
All it took was to point out they have no clue how science works to get them to leave.
Time to go join the other one. See what
saying she doesn't need a model doesn't just demonstrate she doesn't understand the scientific method. It demonstrates she's not using rational thought.
The only reason they left is because Sean kicked one of them, and they got butthurt and all decided to bail because they realized they couldn't just fucking run all over everybody. Oh, I know. I'm not saying he did the fucking wrong thing. He was being a douche.
Was that like a planned get together?
Yeah, I like Karen B.
I think Karen came over and then she went and got some buddies and came back.
Yeah, she basically said there's no mods around. Quick, everybody.